Welcome back to the rush hour. I'm gonna try not to flail my arms at the beginning like I do every other time. So, welcome back. New intro, I guess. Yeah, I'm filming this video Wednesday night, and I'm probably going to publish it Wednesday night because I don't think I'm gonna really share it around. So if you watch this, it means you're either a loyal sub to me, which is nice, even though there's only like 20 of you, or you're new. So why don't you just give me a chance? Yeah, as you can tell by the title and by the light jacket, sweatshirt, I guess you can say, what I'm wearing. I'm going to pretty much talk about what's gone wrong with Tottenham Hotspur this season. For those that don't know, I'm from the USA. Right now I go to school in the little middle of the USA. I've been a massive Tottenham fan for about 5 years now, ever since they came over to play the MLS All-Star game. I believe it was like the summer of 2015, I believe. Yeah, I think it was. And ever since then, I kind of just fell in love with the team. Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen were the guys that kind of got me into it. And ever since then, I've just become a massive fanboy, and pretty much my life is for this club. I love everything about it. I read so much about it. I mean, it's propelled into something that I want to go do. I want to go visit, and I want to go see a game one day. It's come to the point where, hey, if I want to just forget life in the USA, I have a place in London where Tottenham play. So yeah, again, I don't really know if I'm going to share this with everyone because I know a lot of my friends and family who watch this video wouldn't really care much about this. So in England, obviously, again, they're in London, my favorite team. They play in the Premier League, and this season's kind of been rough. We've bounced out of a domestic tournament already, and we sit third place on a 4 in our Champions League group so far. It's been a very awkward season, I guess to say. I think we've criticized a lot of the wrong people so far, and we haven't criticized enough of the good people yet for this season. It's very awkward, but basically the last couple seasons we've been in a project. You know, Tottenham were a mid-table team, and honestly, as soon as the first season I started watching was when they finished third place in the league, after finishing behind Leicester and Arsenal, our rivals. We were in second place pretty much all year long. We were like, it was just us and Leicester, and then we kind of collapsed, and then Arsenal overtook us. So ever since then, it's kind of been, we've been close, but we haven't gotten there. The next season, immediately, we lost to Chelsea. We finished second place in the league, and after that, third place, and now fourth place again last year. So yeah, Tottenham, if you don't know, Tottenham is the bottler club. You know, we don't like to play well. We always choke at stuff. We haven't won a major trophy in 10 years, and even then, that major trophy is the Carabao Cup, which was the League Cup, which is the least important of the 4 that we play right now. So it's kind of embarrassing that we got knocked out of that last week. I'll get into that, and probably first, again, I don't have a script. Usually I have a laptop. It's right here. It's not open. This is pretty much all gonna be all emotions, really randomness. It's probably gonna be really long again. So if you're gonna watch this, you probably like me, or you're new, and so, hey, how you doing? So yeah, League Cup. Last week was very awkward. I kind of woke up because these games started like 1:45, 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. I had my classes, and it was Tuesday, I'm sorry. And honestly, I woke up and I said, this is gonna be a great day. You know, we're playing Colchester, a fourth tier team in English football. Yes, the 4th tier of English football team. So I said, okay, we're gonna get the youngsters in, which we did, and we're gonna play well. We played like shit, honestly. Like, it's embarrassing. We did play a lot of youngsters, so I'm okay with it. But we also had some people that really should have stepped up, like Victor Wanyama. Again, he's going to be one of the players I talk about that needs to go soon. It was just an embarrassing performance, honestly. Gazaniga didn't see a shot at all, and we're going to, well, obviously we had the draw because we went to penalties, but, you know, we're going to put our up-and-coming goalkeeper through a loss like that. Troy Powder, a 17-year-old striker, he had nothing going for him. He had no feed from Dele Alli, which is bitterly pathetic because Dele was so good 3 seasons ago. Injuries have costed him, and from a lot of Twitter support, football fans, Spurs fans, it's his head's not in it from the injuries, but he's also doing a bunch of stuff with his own clothing line. So you kind of have to really wonder if Dele Alli is wanting to be a footballer anymore, or if he's just in this for the money and wanting for the fame right now. But it's kind of frustrating that we lost to a team in Colchester who just they didn't have any like chances. Like, sure, they broke out on a counterattack, but like we would step back and we would stop it. the inability for us to break down a team that just sits there and defends is embarrassing, which happened against Newcastle, our first loss of the season in the Premier League. The Premier League, we started out very well, 3-1 win against Aston Villa. I was just saying, really, it was good. We were down 1-0 in the 66th minute, I believe we finally scored. But whatever, 3-1 comeback win. You can't ever slate a win in the Premier League, honestly, anymore. The next week, we go to Manchester City, the champions back-to-back years, and we get an undeserved draw. VAR canceled out their goal for the second straight time we've played at Manchester City. And we get a draw, so it's whatever. But again, that's a very good draw. So that's 4 points from 2 games. So you're thinking, all right, this is a good start. Then we decide to go back home and play Newcastle United, and we lose 1-0 to Newcastle United. A very sloppy goal. I believe it was Joel Ensign who scored for Newcastle, his first goal for the club since he came over from Bundesliga. Very pathetic from Davinson Sanchez, this is his 3rd year being here now. He has so much promising ability, especially when he came over from Ajax. His first year was okay. You think, it's his beginning year in the Premier League. Last year he was very high and very woeful, and now this year he's just been very woeful. I understand he's been slotting in at right back since that was a position we decided to not really fill up this offseason, in the transfer window, I should say. But at the end of the day, Davinson Sanchez needs to perform up to his ability that he really should be, and the price that we paid for $40 million, I believe, dollars or pounds, I don't know which one it was, is pretty good nowadays. Obviously, a lot of prices are just so inflated. Even if you don't watch football, you understand because you hear so much about Neymar's $220 million and this and that. Like, you can only imagine how much 40 is for a young kid like that. He's just one of the guys that just really needs to step up. I understand right back's not his role. So either he has to just say, I don't want to do it, or he's got to just get in there and really make it better, because when he has slotted in a right back, he's been just as bad as our 2 right backs, Serge Aurier and Kyle Walker-Peters. But yeah, the Premier League has been very awkward, because then the next week we went to Arsenal, our North London rivals, the North London derby, and we drew again. We probably should have won that game, honestly. They could have won the game. It was a very back-and-forth game. We were up 2-0, and then they conceded right before half to make it 2-1, and they scored again. But that's just kind of the history of the season's gone. We conceded right before halftime, and it's screwed us over for the rest of the game. So yeah, through 4 games, you're thinking, all right, I guess we're going to try to come back and this and that. We come back, we beat Crystal Palace very comfortably, and then we lose to a very good Leicester City team. I will not knock that this year. Leicester City, I did predict them to do very well. I think they're exceeding my expectations, and they look like they're going to exceed my expectations. I think they're absolutely going to push for the top 4, not just the top 6. Top 6 is Europa League. Well, 5th and 6th is Europa League, and the top 4 get Champions League spots, which is the most coveted football tournament in the world. It's played between the European leagues, the UEFA, United Europa, okay, whatever. But yeah, I just think that was an okay loss. I mean, we were up 1-0. We scored to make it 2-0, was offsides. And then we lost 2-1. So we lost a game that we were up 2-0 up. We lost 2-1. So that's just kind of just knocking on the door how bad the season's been. And then this past Saturday we played in the league again against Southampton. Just can't make it easy for ourselves. We're up 1-0, and then Serge Aurier gets 2 yellow cards in 5 minutes in the first half. So for about 55 minutes of the game, we are playing down a man, and then Lloris tried a Cruyff turn on the line. Easy for, I believe, was it Danny Ings scored for Southampton, and then read that 1-1.5. But luckily, Harry Kane scored right before to make it 2-1, and somehow held on. I mean, that was true passion, that was true character, and that's what we needed. In tough times like that, after getting out of the Carabao Cup, the tough loss to Leicester, you needed a good statement win. And then Tuesday happened, yesterday. Going to the Champions League against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are the undisputed best team in the Bundesliga for multiple years now. Yeah, that was embarrassing. There's really nothing more to say than that. We scored first thanks to Son, and then we concede a pretty good goal to Kimmich. It was just lack of defensive awareness. A couple minutes after the goal, about 5 minutes. And then right before the half, Robert Lewandowski, the best striker in the world, I will not change my mind over it, scored a beautiful half-turn and low strike goal into the bottom right-hand corner. 2-1.5. Whatever, they're a great team. If we lose, we lose, just make it look good. And then Serge Gnabry just went off. Serge Gnabry scored 4 goals in the second half. Our team just looked pathetic. They just looked like they didn't want to be there. And I'll get into players that I will talk about with that. And then, yeah, Kane scored a penalty for us to make us get 2 goals, but we ended up losing 7-2 in the UEFA Champions League, putting us in 3rd place now after 2 match days. There's 6 match days, as I put the 4 of them. We have 4 left. So you play the other 3 teams group twice, 1 at home, 1 away. We started off with the tough 2-2 draw at Olympiacos. Olympiacos is a hard place to play. I honestly would have taken a draw, but the way we lost it was we were 2-0 up, and then we conceded right before halftime, and then sure enough they scored the 2nd goal and had nothing going forward again. So it's 2-2, and then we had that 1 point, and then we lose to Bayern. Yeah, it's part of this rough season. On like the tough results just look really bad because we're really trying to push on and progress to compare to like Liverpool and Man City, because it's just really rough because 4 or 5 years ago it was just really a stalemate between a bunch of the teams at the top. Like it was just whoever was going to get really hot in mid-season. And I don't want to say mid-season, probably say like by match week 10 you'd be like, all right, here's the first couple, but by mid-season those teams will kick on and get going. Man City and Liverpool were in the mix, especially Man City, but they never just went off like they did. Now Liverpool and Man City last year were the top 2 team. Man City won by 1 point in just incredible fashion. Liverpool would have won the league in any other year except one other year that the Premier League era has ever began. And 3rd place and 4th place was Chelsea and us, and we were like 20 points back of them. So you really got to think, well, we got to really push on right away. So right now we're at 11 points through 7 games, and we're on the league. We're 10 points behind Liverpool already. Luckily, we're only 5 behind City for 2nd place because City lost in March. So top 4 is very doable, but you know, we want to win something. Like I've only been a fan for 5 years, like I said, but like knowing the passion, the history, and all these fans, the people you follow on Twitter, the people you talk with on Twitter, like you just got to push on a win. Like I'm so tired of us being close. We lost Champions League final last year, lost in the semi-final back-to-back years of the FA Cup. It's just really rough times, and obviously I'm gonna cut here, and then we're gonna talk about some players, about who needs to go, what can we bring in, and what can really push this team on to try to make this a really good contending team. Hopefully not next year, but in this next coming window to buy some players and go for the FA Cup. So players that really don't want to be here need to go, and I'm not stressing it out anymore. Christian Eriksen doesn't want to be here, and you could just tell, you know, this man is just, he's not into it. He comes on, sure, he plays well sometimes he doesn't. You know, the Man City game he was great. He was pretty good, honestly, in my opinion. But the game against Colchester last week, not Colchester, well, I don't know, whatever. But we lost. He took the first penalty and like he missed it, and he wasn't even like that distraught about it. He would just put his head down. That's it. Like for the guy that's supposed to go up there and take that first penalty, like give some emotion or put the freaking ball in the back of the net. I want Christian Eriksen gone. I think we need to just lock down Toby and Vertonghen into long-term deals, but I don't want them playing that much more. I think next season will probably be their last season. In my eyes, as starters, they're getting older, but they're still the best center back pairing in the league, probably behind Van Dijk and Matip. I think they're definitely the second best. But in big games, the young, quickie pacer players just destroy through them. And it does not help that they have Serge Aurier on the right and Danny Rose on the left, not playing good practically at all. Serge Aurier has been atrocious this season besides about one half of the Crystal Palace game. Danny Rose is either going to turn up and give you a good run, or he's just going to show up and he's going to get blown by like Serge Aurier does. So I think it's unfair to put the blame on Vertonghen and Alvaro. Sure, they have had their miscues and this and that, but I'm not going to blame them. But I do think we need to really get the replacements in. Davinson Sanchez, like I said, he has so much potential. He just needs to start playing to that potential. But I definitely want to see another kind of youthful, kind of experienced center back come in and start to take the ranks next season. In defense for the transfer window, we need a right back. I don't want to play Serge Aurier anymore. Kyle Walker-Peters just is not good enough yet. I think he can be, but I really would wish he would go to a lower tier team or a championship team to get experience. And if we're not going to try Davis, I want to bring a younger left back in, because we brought Sessegnon in, but I feel like he's probably more of a left mid. I don't think he's too much of an attacker. I think he's too less of a defender. I think he's probably gonna be like a left midfielder role. Obviously, I know he can defend. I know he can attack. But to me, I think Sessegnon fits perfectly right in the middle of the game, creating chances going forward, but perfectly enough to defend. I don't really want to rely on that just solely as a left back, and I don't want to solely rely on him as a left winger. The midfield has been surprisingly very good and very healthy, knock on wood, except our 2 signings. It takes us forever to sign people. We signed Ryan Sessegnon, who is yet to feature for us due to injury after injury on his hamstring. Giovanni Lo Celso on loan, but I believe it is a obligation to buy from Real Betis next summer, hopefully, because this kid has so much potential. He's made about 2 substitutes appearances, maybe 3. Nothing crazy impactful. He really hasn't really even gotten on the ball, honestly, when he's come on. Harry Winks is very scrutinized by some people. I don't think people realize that he's not more of an attacking midfielder. He's like an odd CDM / center midfielder. He doesn't go forward because his final like third play is just not the best. But all the people really think about him is just the ability to just pass back, slow the game down. People criticize that, but that's someone you really need in your team, and I really enjoy Harry Winks for that. But again, I do want him to get a better attack option going forward. He needs to play a couple more balls going forward. And I really enjoy Harry Winks so far this season. Moussa Sissoko, obviously after revitalizing his career in like October last year, he's just been fantastic as a really good, strong center mid. The pace to just go forward, the pace to come back. He's literally everywhere. He is literally a machine. And our record signing Tanguy and Ndombele after this off-season, this transfer window, he's been incredible. Honestly, I don't have anything negative to say. I think maybe he just tries to get a little too confident on the ball, which is never a bad thing. I'm not going to slay the guy for having confidence in the Premier League or Champions League or whatever to go forward a little too much. Christian Eriksen, like I said, I just want him to go. Hopefully Lo Celso can get fit by mid-October, end October, so we can finally start to play, so we can ship Eriksen off in the winter. Honestly, at this rate, I'm to the point where Eriksen can go for free in the winter, and I don't care if he does because I just don't want him at the club anymore. He's just becoming kind of, I just feel like that effort just isn't there. If we go to the attack, it's between Lucas, Son, and Kane. They've all been really good. Lucas hasn't really gotten much game time. Pochettino, I don't really understand why he hasn't. When he brings them on, it's late game and it's just kind of dead. I don't really understand the whole bring him on for just that little bit. Son has been very well. Obviously, he got suspended for the first 2 games after his red card bullcrap call against Bournemouth last year. Harry's been Harry. Very underrated again. You know, he loves to drop back and just play those amazing outlet balls to the right-hand side or to the left-hand side. And I really don't think people appreciate that. I'm not saying Harry's the best in the world. I will joke around about it because he's my striker. I love the guy. I definitely think I'd put him 3rd behind Lewa and Aguero from Man City. So I definitely think Harry is up there. But I think the attack needs to figure something out through the midfield when those teams are just parked the bus. And obviously I'm not going to sit here and try to coach, but Pochettino I don't think I'm Pochettino out fully. I think when I'm emotional, I think I am. But at the end of the day, this is one of the best managers in the world. So I'm really gracious that we have him. But I mean, we need to get something going soon. You know, the Champions League, we're not out of the group stages yet. I think we'll still advance. I mean, we just have to beat Red Star twice, beat Olympiacos, and not concede 7 when we go to Munich against Bayern. The FA Cup starts in around the beginning of January. Hopefully we'll get a lower league team once or twice so we get some confidence, move it on a little bit, get some secondary players to come in. The Premier League, again, like I said, we're right there in the mix for the top 4. You know, we're only 5 behind City for 2nd place, so maybe we can push on to get 2nd place. I don't know. But yeah, I just wanted to get in front of the camera, just talk about how I really feel. And yeah, so again, I don't really know if I'm going to share this, so if you watch it, thank you. If you're new, hi again, sub if you're new. I kind of will do more stuff like this because this is what I love to do. I know it's not get the most views from people in my family or my friends because they don't really watch football, especially from Europe and stuff like that. If you do watch my stuff, you probably won't know I do mostly football from the United States and the NFL. But yeah, I really probably will start doing this more. I'll try to share it around, but again, it's probably not going to get that many views. So if you do watch it, I really appreciate it, especially me this far. This is probably 15-20 minutes of just me blabbing on and blabbing on. So again, hope you enjoy my face, and I'll see you soon. I don't know when. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you!